I'm James Davis, and I've been in the program for 2.5, going on 3 years. Well, usually I tell people I'm a mechanical engineering and product design student, and usually they ask, product design, what is that? And start off, well, product design's a lot of what it sounds like. We design products, but in particular we find problems, we develop concepts, build prototypes, and then take that all the way into testing and final development. And that is really a lot of what I've been trained to do here, but it's also not the whole story. A lot of what I've learned is social analyzing, looking at how people interact with designs and how designs impact the world and the communities they're used in, and how those communities impact the designs. When I first came to Studio, I was a little bit introverted. I wasn't very good at giving presentations or drawing or any of the skills that I would really need, except for perhaps building things and math. So I was a little bit perplexed, and I didn't even think I was going to come to DIS at first. I didn't know it existed. But I went to go speak to a professor, and he told me, he asked me what I was going to do. I told him math and mechanical engineering, and he just shook his head and said, no, don't do that. He asked me what I wanted to do with my life, and I told him I wanted to make a difference. I was going to go to school, get a degree in mechanical engineering and math, and learn how to invent and practice it on the side. And he turned to me and he said, you know there's a program for that, right? What? Yeah, there's a program. You invent things to make the world a better place at RPI. And I couldn't believe that I could get a degree in learning how to invent, how to create. But you can, and I've done it, and it's the best thing I've done with my life so far. Studio has changed me a lot. I've gone from being a very introverted person who's terrified of giving presentations to being very okay with getting up in front of a group of people and giving presentations just because I have to do it every week. And I also get to invent things all the time, and I had some experience making things, working on teams, but not that really deep. You're making things all the time, you're always inventing, you're always being creative. And it's really forced me to develop my skill level and my creativity. I've applied what I learned in DIS to a couple of different projects outside, but really the skills I've learned, drawing, keeping inventors' notebooks, these things are really, they transcend the program into all of engineering, into all of inventing. And I've applied it in making different devices, starting businesses, developing concepts. I have used some of what I've learned in DIS to make the world a better place. I've tried to develop new quality controls for solar cells, and I hope that'll make the world a better place. I've developed a couple of products that I think could potentially help, but I've also worked at the ARC Charter School and applied that knowledge to making the lives of those kids better and helping educate them, or at the very least exposing them to the possibilities of engineering. But really, I don't think my work at making the world a better place has even really begun. I'm going to take what I know from DIS and apply it to making designs that will just blow away the planet, make it way better. Clean water for everyone, food, organization, power. Those are the areas that I think I could really change and innovate in. My favorite part of DIS is really getting to work on projects. Not just because the projects are, I get to apply everything that I've learned, I get to create things, but also because I get to work with different people that I don't usually get to work with if I were like just a mechanical engineer or just an electrical engineer. I get to work with managers, I get to work with communication students, with other people from different engineering disciplines. And it's that sort of team experience that has allowed me to develop my skills in product design. I couldn't build half the things I'd built if I were just working with mechanical engineers. I would tell my freshman self to do everything Professor Swersey tells you to, because even though he's obviously insane, he's also totally brilliant. He's started God knows how many companies, made hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's done it because he's really good. And in particular, I would tell myself, work hard at upkeeping your inventor's notebook because it is relevant to patenting, and Professor Swersey is definitely right. Do a good job. I think anyone who's willing to work hard to change the world and make it a better place would be an excellent DIS student. You don't necessarily have to have a lot of math or art or any particular background. It's more having the drive to develop the skills to work with others to make the world better. I think my favorite studio was actually probably Studio 2, just because it was the first one that I got to really build a full working prototype in. There is a rush associated with taking this massive problem, waste, as it was for us, and then just walking through, finding a solution, developing a concept, building a prototype, testing it, and just at the end presenting to someone, yes, you can solve this problem. Yes, I can make the world a better place. Just because it was the first time I had done that, I'd say Studio 2 was wonderful for me.